said the grand plan made her do it, huh? Jeez, kinda preachy. Keep it in the monastery, lady.
May all your endeavors add to the equation. May circumstances proceed toward intended results.
Yes, suppose you'll do.
Factor's been in there a while now. Perhaps this cannot be.
Something about that Alva doesn't square. And she called me sad. I'm not sad. Just for the record.
Armed and ready.
Ready to wait on your command. Combat! Over here! Free hole in the head!
Commander. Medkit coming your way.
Look at a few corpse low, Commander.
Thank you kindly. I am decidedly in your debt. Anything you need? Anything I, a lowly archivist, can provide you, a heroic individual who is handy with doors? Of course. I am now able to breathe easy and respond freely. Strange question, but yes, all commands path through the hub here. Through that wiring underneath that open floor panel in the back of the room, actually. Well, in my professional opinion, looks like someone rerouted some commands from operations. Not sure which ones. Based on the sloppy state it was left in, I'd say they either barely knew what they were doing or were in a rush. Or both. I was in my cot doing advanced equations. After the explosion occurred, I rushed here to check my terminal. The door was creaky to open. I should have known it would lodge in place when it closed, but I was distracted by the disheveled state of the room and rushed inside. Works in operations, right? Always on about her stories. Wish I had time to watch serials and read all day. Well, that's about everything I know about everything. Let you be on your way. Careful on your way out. May all your endeavors elicit expected results.
It's a break. Breath tingling. All charged up.
Hello, dear. Why, we were just talking about you.
Or specifically, potential implications for a multitude of troubling scenarios, based on probable results of your investigation, downstream outcomes, and such and the like.
You know how the order is, always calculating something. But please, tell us what you discovered.
That you found evidence that the coordinates were rerouted is definitely something. Would be an odd step for Alva here to take, except perhaps to throw blame elsewhere.
I admit I had the knowledge to cause the leak, but not the authorization. And yes, why would I reroute coordinate commands away from here? I wholeheartedly agree, but her incompetence hardly absolves her. I'm sufficiently certain our proctor is conspiring with an outside party, so I'm coming out now. She's going to tell me who she's working with. Then I'm going to kill her.
Wait a minute. You're going to what? Our investigation, it's unfinished. And you're an initiate. What are you talking about?
Oh, I see you two thought you were proving my innocence. No, you were helping identify my target. I'd advise you, dears, to help or stay out of my way. Proctor Svoboda needs to pay for her actions.
Her possible involvement notwithstanding, Constance Svoboda is an order proctor, and I cannot abide her cold-blooded murder. Especially by someone we clearly know so little about. You are far more capable than some back-manufactory button pusher. Who are you, really?
I am a dedicated agent of the Order, but no, dear. My name is not Miriam Alva. I am Marisol Delgado, formerly of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
That group was just a story to scare novice scienticians. Next, you're going to be telling me you're... Wait. It is you, isn't it? The one they called the Endpoint.
Marisol's fine, thank you, dear.
I must admit, I'm not entirely sure. The rumors about your department. They said anyone who might delay the equation being solved disappeared. If there are any hints of truth to that, I find it severely at odds with Order tenets for balancing efficiency with humanity.
This is hardly the time for a history lesson or debate, I'm afraid.
That you are who you are, and are standing right, and have been here for years. It's all much to digest. I suspect your methods are not my own, nor the Order's, as I know it. And I fear your intentions for Proctor Svoboda. I cannot be party to this, but neither shall I stand in your way.
A wise calculation, my friend. Good thing you showed up when you did. You saved me from having to kill everyone here. Svoboda has much to answer for. Let's go see that she does.
What's this? What are you doing here? Come to surrender, I take it?
After decades keeping this identity, your inexpert blundering has rendered it obsolete. I am Marisol Delgado, former head intercessor of the Order. This would be an ideal time to confess everything. Before you die.
You can't possibly be party to all this. Not with her vast misdeeds so readily apparent.
Our investigator has definitively determined my innocence following a thorough investigation.
Wait, you can't possibly believe this balderdash. This is all nothing more than a flagrant example of artifice and bunco. An elaborate song and dance from an admitted imposter.
Enough, traitor. You made your play. You lost. No more deception. No more lies. Time to pay what is due.
No, wait,
Thus concludes a thoroughly distasteful business. Best search her office. Someone clearly was pulling her strings.
Would have been nice to perform that search before there was a corpse in the room, but beggars and choosers.
never left her terminal on. Maybe it holds some sign of who she was working for. The terminal unsealed the effluvium repository. That's traditionally off limits. Ideal spot to hide something. We should take a look. This used to be brimming with runoff chemical sludge. It's been renovated, I see. Another terminal. Go ahead. You should have the honors.
Ought to keep moving, Commander.
The Proctor's efforts appear part of a larger scheme. Ah, of course. I should have assumed you had a greater purpose here. This whole affair reminded me of the old days. The blood, the secrecy, the calculations and intrigue. Been trying to tell myself I didn't miss it. But in action, I fear, ill suits me. I have some unfinished business I need to get back to. I could use help from an operator like you. Believe my specific skills could benefit your efforts as well. I'd propose a strategic partnership. You help me, I help you. What do you say? Good, good. It's a little crowded here, though, isn't it?
Sure, I could use a few ticks off my feet. Leg has been aching a bit. But hey, you need me, you know where to find me. And don't let that one stray outside your peripherals, if you take my meaning.
Excellent. Well then, I am quite ready to leave this place.
I realize you didn't receive the most welcome of receptions here. I recognize you've done right by us here today, and I appreciate your efforts.
Sorry. Got some kind of tickle in
Do
my
you
chest.
believe Arcadia shall ever return?
Good to see the Order looking after others. Sometimes that particular tenet gets lost among all the delightful math.
We can predict it down to a decimal.
Oh, a visitor. Without notice. Hello. You weren't mentioned in my latest personalized order projection. I mean, prediction. Granted, I mostly skim the parts what don't cover probabilistic dangers, so perhaps you were alluded to in some, roundabout fashion. Suppose that means you're not a threat. So that's good, right? Yeah, I reckon that's good. I'll say, I try not to make any big plans until I consult my latest POP. First time I got a POP, it was on a lark. It said, Rollo Nast, our seer has predicted you must wear a helmet today. I borrowed one. As a laugh, everybody ribbed me about it. Just after lunch, wind picked up on the cliff above and dropped a mock apple 152 meters straight down onto my head. Fortunately, I still had that brain case on. Sure, but I've had 9 POPs so far, and at least 3 times something similar happened. Avoided drowning in a culvert, sidestepped my mantisaur allergy. Forget the other. Things like that just illustrate the fragile nature of human existence, especially here in Golden Ridge. My co-occupant Ike had a POP done, had told him avoid liquids for 48 hours. He ignored it. Later got drunk, passed out, drowned face first in a puddle of water. You did catch the part I said they saved my life, right? I think alive is a notable improvement on dead. That's something you can take to the bank, you know? Figuratively speaking. I don't know why the other displaced have been so slow to take to them. But I'm not complaining too loud. Waited for my latest POPs long enough already.
Where do we go now? What happened to this place? Law, where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
We're not going anywhere! Not on the basis of some half-baked prediction! This Except for the fact that you ain't yelling and trying to eat me. I'd have pegged you as some sort of prosperous scrapper by the rough look you got about you. You do got a certain feral look in your eye, though. Okay. I give up. Tell me. Oh, so that's how it is. You're the mediator that was foretold. Am I right? The Order wants us to believe that a catastrophe is coming to the exclusion zone at any second. Why? Because math told them so. Screw their predictions. We have people, displaced by war and disaster, in sore need of space. There's plenty of room to house them. Am I supposed to fall on my knees and thank the Order because something bad may or may not happen? Sorry. Not convinced. I honestly don't give the slightest whit about the Order's idea of math or whatever calculation tells them that a catastrophe may or may not occur. What does the Administrant want? To shut me up? To discredit me? Oh, I knew it. We'll just have to build a watertight case against her then. Best thing you can do is introduce yourself around camp. See why we need the exclusion zones open. Huh. I didn't realize we were negotiating. Now you're speaking my language. You'll get your little bribe once you rule in my favor. Just don't let me down.
Please, don't distract me from my more pressing distractions. What happened to this place? Law. Matriarch's mercy is no safer than the trenches.
Broke my nose last, Scrap. I banged him up real good for you, didn't I? I won you one, right? Matters settled. The void you did. Barely connected.
You're thinking of 2-3 scraps ago. You've been mostly unconscious a while now. You ought to talk to Boss Tilda. She's the brains in this... What does she call it? Oh, yeah. Quasi-illicit shenanigan.
Doesn't like to look at us when we're all banged up. Said my face turned her off Borscht loaf.
Anyhow, head down the hill along the fence. Tell her Mapother and Mudge sent you.
Wait. Don't tell me you're one of those drones from Auntie's.
Can't say I'm fond of these lodgings. Look, I'm not with Auntie anymore. We all have reasons to leave.
Really? What was yours?
Honestly,
Oh, try not to get too close. My sinuses are stuffed up, my ears are backed up, and my guts are gurgling. I could burst at any moment. Every fluid from every orifice. So keep your distance. Well, that is the idea. I've gotten sick at least a dozen times since we set up camp. Why, last week alone, I caught hack lung, sprat tongue, skinny teeth, and a rare case of mortified skull emergence. Figured I might as well get used to being sick. So I'm practicing for my next disease. It's gonna be a nasty one. I think it's downright awful what's happened to these fine folks. But me especially. Sickness, malnutrition, spontaneous genetic disorders, it never ends. You too. Trust me, you don't want to catch this. Neither do I, for that matter.
Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was? Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
I wish. Between the invaders, the
Keep
order
your
defecting,
behavior within
there's no
acceptable
putting this sprat back into the can.
Cloister is looking pretty good. Do you believe Arcadia shall ever return to how it was?
Wish.
Thus... And then we solve for the... apologies. Just catching up on a research assignment between queries. Yes? Did you need something? Oh, doesn't everyone have that memorized? It's 1.77245385. Ah, I see you were making a jest and/or attempt at conversation. Anything else? Typically, no. And it has been somewhat challenging focusing my concentration. The abbot felt a scientician operating in a conspicuous spot in the thoroughfare might be useful. An illustrative way for our guests to see how we operate. To show how the crabble patties are made, as it were. That is, if the meat preparation involved a 90-step rate formula and a conflux of polynomial equations. I am also on hand to answer queries by providing data supporting our actions. Though perhaps due to my central location, 89.74% of the time, I am simply asked for directions. I am sure they bear any inconveniences with grace and dignity. I mean, the statistical jump correlated to residents within Matriarch's Mercy has some pretty compelling numbers. According to data, life inside shows a notable uptick in key relevant quality of life factors: longevity, access to medicine, potable water. Life outside sees increased risk of starvation, inclement weather, and hostile xenofauna. Yes, indeed. Numbers are really against you out there. By quite a healthy statistical margin, yes. We nurture the body while we minister to the mind. We organize, we adapt. We have diverted internal resources to better meet demand in key areas. And I'm pleased to say that's led to a statistically significant 2.7% increase in refugee satisfaction. Then back to it I shall get.
Wait. Don't tell me you're one of those drones from Auntie's Choice.
Easy, friend. We're all in this together.
You just keep your distance.
Commander, you got a minute to talk? I got some thoughts on this situation with the refugees. The number of folks seeking refuge from the war is, well, it's beyond what I expected. And beyond what the Order is capable of handling, seems like. Andes may not be faring much better here, but we could at least find enough work for these folk to buy some food. You sure? He seems more concerned with the Order's reputation than anything else. It's a tough situation, that's all I'm saying. But if the Order can't even manage tens of folk at their doorstep, they ain't gonna manage much better should they win the war. I'd like to believe that. But frankly, I got some other concerns. I went through this myself when Auntie's Choice took over Tau Ceti. It took time to secure the merger, but once they did, we folk got the help we needed real quick. And all they wanted in return was the signing of an employment contract. Now, I ain't seeing any contracts in Matriarch's Mercy. So what is the Order actually gaining by doing this? In all my years, I ain't encountered many folk who would extend a hand and expect nothing in return. I mean, I'd not have asked for your help with my graft if I didn't have something to offer in exchange. Well, maybe I misjudged the Earth Directorate after all. Anyhow, if the Order is in fact helping these folk with no hidden aims, then, well, I'll be the first to admit that there might just be merit in what they're selling. Appreciate you hearing me out.
So, Abbot Newell sent you to my manufactory to lower tensions with Auntie's Choice, I take it. Have you tried talking with them directly? Well, sometimes that level of directness is required. I'm not advocating that in this situation, however. The Order has been made out to be in the wrong here. It would be a shame for hostilities to reignite before we find out who's responsible. Do you now? Let's hear it. Sometimes, with purpose. Don't you as well? Do you draw some moral distinction between avenging harm and nipping it in the bud beforehand? Between covert and overt means? When all is said and done, are those in your ledger any less dead than mine?
Had a sense you felt that way. We'll see if situations force that to change. Some were proprietary. Often they involved forms of subtle persuasion, others more overt influence. Now and again, more direct means were required. Suppose you can ask. Oh, I am a dedicated member of the Order. Beyond that, there's really little you or anyone need to hear about. Consider yourself lucky. You already know more about me than anyone else I've met in the last 20-odd years. I see you're not going to let this lie, are you? Fine. Suppose I'll elaborate. Slightly. I mentioned before I was part of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection. My role there, you may recall, was head intercessor. I was tasked to influence pivotal events, to keep the solving of the equation on track. Something occurred. I needed to step off the board a while. To put it mildly, after the incident in question, seeking refuge seemed prudent. Dorado appealed to me because it was off the board but not completely remote. There I could lie low for a time, but observe. So I'd believed. Our department was shuttered shortly after Ruth Pissar took office. To avoid undue attention, I remained in hiding. May all our travails add to the equation.
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions, but it could use a little salt. What is with the anomalous
Test your hypothesis elsewhere.
What caused this? Ruth Pissar is the first among equals of the Laureate Council. She will raise humanity to perfection.
Welcome back. Any luck enlisting help?
What happened to this? Where do we go now? Another refugee camp? Another colony?
I predict with an 8.2.
I suppose I can give you the time of day.
Raft's raring to go.
Torpificator is... Mitigating the threat. Torpification in progress. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Consider self-preservation a priority. Combatant scan. Vitals are in the red, Commander. Proceeding to attack. Do try to limit further damage, Commander. Torpificator at ready status. Thank you, dear. Not entirely surprised. I do so hope you'll forgive my thoroughly convinced... I'm not so sure Proctor's Svoboda was capable of crashing cargo pods into additional Antes installations. Still glad I stopped it. May the plan favor us against long odds. Mobilizer. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
To the rescue. Sight unseen. Out of sight and on the way.